I think it was today, and I was so offended by this email.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. We ended up going to.
So this is a podcast, and I'll put the podcast in the description area as well. And this gentleman here, so every single person that is talking is supposedly a Christian. Okay.
Tiffany's Montgomery's event covered by today. I think it was today, and I was so offended by this email.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. We ended up going to Tiffany's Montgomery's event covered by God, and we actually had somebody. We had a bunch of people love the email that we sent out. Went to the event. It was a super dope event, and we had a bunch of emails that were positive. But then we had one that came in that was like, Ryan, you are such a lukewarm Christian. Yeah, I was highly offended by this message, right?
Wow.
Which that's probably another conversation. But after all of the thoughts, the initial thoughts, I had to get it about. All the initial thoughts went to my head about this person.
Yeah, because Ryan about to email him back. I'm like, bro, don't email him back, bro.
I feel like I really was tried up. But I'm curious about one thing. One, I'm trying to figure out why was I so offended by this? Because we online. We've had people call us all types of things.
Yeah.
I've never been offended. Even when it was going the most viral for things I should have been offended about, was not offended. This really, this one email really, really bothered me. But then it got me thinking, what is a lukewarm Christian, and what is this, like, what level of spiritual advancement do you have to be at for you to be considered universally Christian?
Yeah.
So the fact that he shared that, kudos to him, right? The fact that he thinks he is saved, born again, and a Christian, it's because he's surrounded by people like this. Listen to the answer.
So I think the first thing I'll ask you is, are you lukewarm? Like, would you consider yourself hot, cold, or lukewarm?
No. Tell me how you got born again. That's the first question. Tell me, when did you receive Jesus? Let's start there. When did you receive Jesus? Because if you receive Jesus, no one's going to tell you that you're lukewarm, right? Because the Bible makes it clear that God will spew you out his mouth. And everything that he says that describes someone who is lukewarm, that he's going to spew out his mouth, those are not characteristics of a Christian, of someone who's born again.
First,
it depends on what
good question. Could you?
So I think the first thing I'll ask you is, are you lukewarm? Like, would you consider yourself hot, cold, or lukewarm?
First,
it depends on what
good question. Could you define? Let's get clarity to this. What will we define as a lukewarm Christian?
You do both. Like, I'm like, yeah, I agree with that scripture, but I also agree with culture, and I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do what God tells me I should do sometimes, but then I'm gonna do what I want to do. The culture wants me to do. You could see me in the mix of both.
So is that not every human being?
So this is my question.
No.
Is it based on your belief? Like, if you strongly believe in God, but you fall short.
I promise you, when I first heard this video, I thought to myself, okay, I got all of my emotions out when I first heard the video. But now, even as I'm listening to it again, I'm like,